Today we have a great budget setup for your M4 Mac Mini, including a great monitor. Let's talk about it.
S-Mini on the block, no joke.
Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to go over some budget options for your brand new M4 Mac Mini. Now when I say budget, I know people, there's the comments and stuff. It's kind of like, kind of on the edge of budget, especially the monitor. But the monitor is great. I'm going to show this to you in a second here. So stay tuned for all of that. Now, when you buy the M4 Mac Mini, everyone knows you have to buy your keyboard, your mouse, your monitor, I mean, you name it, speakers, everything else in between. So I'm just going to go through some budget options in this video. I hope it helps people. Now, by all means, this is not the only options that are out there. I know people will leave comments like, why didn't you touch on this monitor? I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of videos coming up where I'm going to be doing a whole line of monitors that are perfect for this. I'm going to be doing different external SSDs that are perfect for that thing as well. All that kind of stuff's coming. But in this one, it's just very specific stuff I'm getting swamped by all around me. You can see it all around me. And I want to go through just some kind of budget options for everybody out there that maybe bought the budget M4, maybe the base model or something like that. And they just want to keep things as cheap as possible. Again, this is not the cheapest monitor, but it's one of the best for the cost. So without further ado, my famous line, let's get into it. So I do like Apple keyboards. There's a lot of people that don't, but I definitely like them. So if you want to keep it very similar but save some money, the first one I recommend here with your Mac Mini over there is a Satechi. It's called the Satechi X1 Bluetooth keyboard right here. Now, let me go ahead and put that over here. Now, you can see it up here on the web here. It's $69 right now. So you're saving about 30 to 40 bucks over the Apple keyboard. And it's called the Satechi Slim X1 Bluetooth backlit keyboard. So it is backlit. It's right here. It's full aluminum construction. And I'm using it right now with my Mac Mini back there. I don't know if you can see my Mac Mini sitting way back there. It's a small room, so I got to do what I can do. Anyways, this thing's actually built like a tank. It's very, very, looks professional. It matches the Mac Mini perfectly. It's gray and black, and you can kind of see the design of it, but it's really well made. It also has almost the exact same key layout as the original keyboard here, or the small keyboard for the Apple keyboard. So you can't go wrong with it. The key travel is very similar. I actually think it's a little bit more key travel, which is nice. So if you like that, it's just slightly more. But overall, 69 bucks, you'll save about 30 or 40 bucks on that. That's option number one. Now, if you're somebody that needs a numeric keyboard on your keyboard, you can't live without it. Here's the other option. This is by Satechi as well, sitting right here. This is actually the Satechi, you can look at my screen, Slim X3 keyboard. Let me put the box back over here. So this thing actually has the numeric keypad on it. It's on sale right now, huge discount. It's actually cheaper than the small one. It's only $57.72 right now. It's on sale, look at that. It's 36% off. I actually have it sitting right over here, you can see it. So it's got the same metal construction. It's really, really nice. It's exactly almost the same as this one, but it's got the numeric keyboard as well. Full Bluetooth, it's got Bluetooth built into it. You can set it up for multiple devices, I think up to 3 or 4 devices with Bluetooth. It's got all the same buttons, function keys, and everything that the Mac needs. It's made really for a Mac, so these are kind of interchangeable, and that's a great keyboard, and it's on sale for $57. And I'll have links to all this in the description if you want to check them out, but that's a great sale right now, and you can't go wrong with that for sure, so definitely check that one out. These are the keyboards I recommend. Obviously, if you buy the Apple one here, you're saving like 60 or 70 bucks, so it's a huge savings. If you need the numeric keyboard, great savings. Okay, now for a mouse. Now this is very subjective. Some people are going to scream at me, I can't live with that, I can't live without this. It doesn't matter. This is a budget option. I'm just giving you some budget options. You don't have to go with them. But listen to this one. So I love this one. I like simple mice that have good ergonomics. This one's great. This is the Logitech Signature M550. It's sitting right here. It's a white mouse. I'll show you on my screen. It's a little bit closer up here. Here it is right here. It's only $24 right now. It's 17% off, usually only 30 bucks. It's Bluetooth also, so it's wireless and Bluetooth, so you can connect it either way. Works flawlessly. I have it hooked up to my Mac Mini behind me, sitting right over here as I hit the thing. And you can see 24 bucks. So that's going to be a very simple scroll wheel, 2 buttons. So if you don't like all that stuff, this is the option to go for. Like, I like simple stuff. I don't like these wheels and everything else going on, 10 different buttons. I know some people can't live without it. If you can't, then you have to go up a little bit more in price. And what I recommend there is this is actually refurbished, but it's refurbished from Logitech. This is actually the Logitech MX Master 2S Bluetooth edition. And this is going to be $48.99. So you're saving about 20 or 30 bucks off the new price here. And it's only $48.99. Logi, they come almost brand new. I've used them before. They look brand new when they ship them to you. And you can see people love this. Obviously this is called the MX Master, and that's what people like about it. Obviously, you hear that all the time. That's like the #1 mouse. This is a little bit different version. It's a version down below the newest one, but still a good option for a budget setup if you need those extra buttons and scroll wheels and stuff like that to help you edit. So check this one out. Now for monitors, I wanted to talk about the one I have behind me because I love BenQ monitors. And again, this is budget option, but we're kind of skirting the budget price here. Now, before I get into the monitor sitting right back here, I want to show you another one. So obviously, if you watch my channel, I do a whole bunch of reviews, and I reviewed the one over here. So this one's actually the BenQ PD3225U. It's 32-inch 4K, only 60 hertz, but this is actually very color accurate. It's a great Mac monitor. It works right out of the box with Macs. It's got M-Book mode, which basically matches the Mac's colors. It's $1,000 still, though. It's still way up there. It used to be $1,100. Now it's $1,000. So I'm not recommending it for this video. But if you want kind of a video that's slower, a little bit lower than kind of the studio display, this is a good option. But that's not what I'm going to recommend here. So what I'm going to recommend here is two different options. And I have the 32-inch. It may not look that big because it's sitting behind me, but this is a huge 32-inch screen behind me. But they make a 27-inch in this as well. And here it is right here. So this is the 27-inch is the BenQ MA27OU right here. It's going to be 4K 3840 by 2160. And it basically says monitor that is, monitor for a MacBook. And it actually says it on the box. I'll see if I can show you some pictures. All the advertising says it's made for a Mac. It plugs right in, works flawlessly with all Macs. The color is super accurate. I did a video. If you check out my video, I did some videos on this, and it matches exactly like my MacBook screen and all that kind of stuff. So perfect color match. This is the smaller version, $459. What I have here, though, and it's hard to get right now, but I wanted to show you here. So actually, let me get in here and see if I can find it. So what I actually have in here is the 32-inch of this, and this is actually going to be the BenQ MA32OU. So BenQ MA32OU. 32-inch. So right now on Amazon, it's back order. It's not available right now. So that's kind of weird. It's been kind of hit or miss. There's been a lot of people buying this. You can't really get it that easily. But it's a 32-inch 4K 3840 by 2160 monitor. And again, they call it this MacBook mode where the box says it and it works just flawlessly with Macs. I've tested it many times. So if you're going to check out my channel for this video, check out the MA32OU on my channel. I have a full video of it, and I go through that monitor. I love it. Now, this monitor is this the budget option? This is where I'm kind of skirting it. Right now it's not available on Amazon, but if you look over here, it is sold on BenQ, or on B&H, and I think they're actually back ordered on them. But Adorama has it for $5.99, and then also BenQ itself is $5.99. So it's around $5.99. Is that really a budget monitor? No. But for what you're getting, it's incredible. And the reason I love this thing is up in the corner. I'm not going to get too much into this because you won't hear me. But it does have some software. I don't know if you can see that. I'll show you some close-ups. It actually has some software built into it. And what do they call this thing? I'm always forgetting what it's called. It's called BenQ Display Pilot 2. And what that software basically does is it allows you to go in and actually make massive changes to basically the displays. So from the Mac screen. I mean, most monitors like this, you have to use kind of the buttons underneath it. But with this software built in, you can actually use your keyboard to adjust the monitor. It's also got some settings up in the corner, like you can see. You can do the brightness, the resolution, all that kind of stuff, a whole bunch of things, like you can do HDR. It's all built into the monitor, and it goes through the Mac. So that software is key because it just works flawlessly with the Macs. So I totally recommend that monitor. And like I said, I'll show you some close-ups as I'm talking this throughout this whole thing. But for the cost, I mean, again, it's not budget, but it's like 1/3 the cost of the studio display. So I'm going to call it that. I think it's the best monitor. It's only 60 hertz. So, I mean, obviously, if that affects you, it affects you. But for the cost, I think it's the best, monitor where the text is the best. It's the sharpest I've seen, even though there's going to be some issues with 4K, on Macs and stuff like that. I just think that the sharpness on this monitor with its text is perfect. And I use it at like a 3000 something by something resolution. I'll see if I can throw it up there for you. But at that resolution, it works flawlessly for me, and it looks very, very sharp to my eyes, so I think you'll like it. Now for speakers, I want to go ahead and just say this is the budget option again. You can see back here, I have them sitting right over here, but look at my screen. These are the Creative Pebble Pro, and this is going to be $49.99 right now. These do come with Bluetooth 5.3, and they're just overall, they sound good, they look good, they'll look good next to your Mac Mini. So at the bottom of the barrel here for $49, I think this is a good option for you if you want to pick something up that's a little bit better. I mean, the Mac Mini actually sounds pretty good this year. If you listen to the speaker out of the little Mac Mini, I think they made it better. But here are some speakers that are going to, kind of amp it up just a little bit, but for $50. The next one that I kind of recommend if you want to go a little bit higher than that, these are really good speakers. This is the G2000, and this is the 32-watt PC speakers, $109. So this is not really, I would classify as budget, but you can see in here it's a 4.6 out of 5. Over 3,000 people bought this. It's got a very, very high review. It matches also your Mac. You can get it in black and some other colors, but white's really cool here. But they're really solid for the cost for around $109. And then one other option, hold on one second while I get it here. is this thing right here. So this is actually called the Blue Ant soundbar, and I did a whole video on this as well. If you check out my channel, it was more about the accessories. I think if you search Blue Ant, it should come up, but it's sitting right here. This is a soundbar. This thing sits on your desk, and it looks really elegant, and I'm going to kill myself here talking about it, but here it is on Amazon over here. You can see it's $149 right now. So again, not maybe the budget option, but the reason I like this thing, it's got a built-in subwoofer on the bottom of it over here, and you can just put this anywhere in your room or on your desk or something and put the Mac Mini maybe on top of it, and it'll fill the room with sound, and it works perfectly through Bluetooth, or it's got physical connection as well. It's got a clicker over here, somewhere down here, that you can go ahead and use it across the room if you want to. So overall, if you don't want to use like typical speakers with your Mac Mini, you can get something like this that's beautiful. It's a conversation piece in itself, and at the end of the day, it works really well, sounds really good. It's a little bit more pricey than a budget option. I mean, obviously than the Pebble speakers, but still a good one. Okay, for this next accessory for your Mac Mini over here, it's kind of a stretch, but I figured if you're going to be getting all this stuff, you might want to have some headphones that complement your Mac Mini there. They're sitting right here. Now, I just did a video on this, and I had to call them out because they're the best headphones for the price you can buy, hands down. Here they are on Amazon right now. They're called the Tozo. I believe they're called, let me go down here, the Tozo HA1 headphones. You can see them right here, $26. They're 46% off right now. They're Bluetooth, they're sound canceling or noise canceling, but the sound quality on these things just right out of the box is phenomenal. So watch my, go back and check out my channel, type in Tozo, T-O-Z-O, headphones or something. The video should come up. I just did it a couple of weeks ago. It is incredible for $26. I mean, even if you have 5 pairs of headphones, pick these up. You will not believe it. They're one of the best headphones, again, for the cost. They're like a $200 pair of headphones, I'm telling you. I mean, maybe the build quality and stuff is obviously not there as far as $200, but the sound quality is incredible. So I wanted just to give a shout out to those. If you want to kind of add it to your Mac Mini setup and just listen to sound or do video editing through these. But really, it's for music. They're really good. Now, as we all know, the Mac Minis over here, if you get the base model, let's say this is a budget option for you, they really don't come with a lot of storage, only 256, so you want to get an external SSD drive like this. Now, I just did a video, my last video actually, where I showcased this actual enclosure here, and this was the Qwiizlab enclosure, and it's a big piece of metal, and I can show you some pictures. It does a really good job of cooling the SSD, and I've had no problems with it. You get around 3,100 megabytes per second, so really fast on the reads and the writes. But the problem is here, I went back there to the website on Amazon, and it looks like it's unavailable. I think I sold too many of them. I know I sold some of them on Amazon. It's crazy. I saw some links come in, but maybe I sold it out. I have no idea. So it's not available right now. But the next best thing, I guess, is this is not really, made by one specific company. It's made by a couple different companies. So I believe this is the exact same thing here, and I'll have a link to this as well. But this is actually by a company called Qwiizlab. Who knows what it is, but it's right here. It's exactly the same design, exactly the same chipset, so it should work exactly the same, and it's sitting right here for $85.99. It's a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure. So what does that mean? Again, you get up to that 3,100 megabytes per second. Now, the thing that I actually use, let me just see here. In that test I just showed you, a little while ago, I used actually this drive right here. This is the Samsung 990 EVO, and I was able to achieve those 3,100, 3,150 speeds. Here it is right here, but this is the EVO Plus. You can see here, so it's a brand new one by Samsung 990 EVO Plus, 1 terabyte, $89. You can get 2 terabytes in here. I think, obviously if you add it to that enclosure for $139, plus you pay for the enclosure of $89, and you can even go up to 4 terabytes, which is a little bit more here. Let's just see what this is, $299, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Now, if you want to do a little bit more budget option on the SSD, obviously this one you can trust. This is Samsung. It's going to be solid. I've tested it. This other one's my favorite SSD of all time. It's a little bit cheaper right here. This is the Western Digital Black. This is the SN770. If you watch my channel, I've done almost all my reviews on this one. It's a workhorse. It's down to $64 right now, so you can get that for $64. And I think the 2 terabytes here, and let me just see here. Now this will work. It's only $113 for 2 terabytes, so that's actually a good budget option. I'd almost recommend this one more because I know this works with almost any enclosure. I've tested it on like 100 enclosures. It's worked flawlessly, so that's a really good option. $113 as long as you cool it okay. It's fairly, all these things get a little bit heat, so you have to make sure you cool them okay. But overall, I think that's a really good option. And then finally, well, actually, here it is right here. So let me just show you the 2 boxes. Here's the Samsung right here. I don't know if you can see that with the thing. And then here's the Western Digital Black right there. Now, the third option, which is the cheapest, and again, I'm not telling you to get this one, but if you want to go kind of the cheapest here, let me get over to it over here on Amazon. if I can find it. It's right here. This is called the Oracle, and this is the, let me just see what they call this one. It's got a weird name. It's the 07 or 07000 or 07000. I think it's 07000 right here. This is actually a 1 terabyte, but it's up to 7,000 megabytes per second. Again, it's not, you're not going to get that with Thunderbolt 4. If Thunderbolt 5, you might get that. But here it is for $59 only. It's a 15% off or 14% off right now. So it's a really good option. It's got really good reviews, actually, 4.5. I've used it. I've had no problems with it. But again, I haven't used it long term, so I'm not sure. You can get a 2 terabyte for $106 and a 4 terabyte for $239. So there you go. I mean, obviously that's a little bit of a budget option. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure, like I said, the longevity of that one. But I know the other ones, like the Western Digital, is just really, really good. So just want to kind of throw some of those out there. Now, if you don't want a whole Thunderbolt 4 enclosure and you just want to have some basic storage on your Mac Mini to help you move some files, I actually recommend this one. This one's actually by that Qwiizlab right here. You can see it right here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it right here because it's stuck, but there it is right there. It's like a little tiny one right here. And this is actually on my website over here. So it's basically $26 right now. This is called the Qwiizlab M.2. It takes 2230 SSD NVMe drives. And you're going to get around like 900 megabytes per second read writes on this. So still fast enough to edit videos and do all your stuff and even copy files really quickly. And it actually stays pretty cool. It's got this little like orange bumper around it, but you can take that off if you don't like it and it'll match your Mini over there just perfectly. $26 for this little enclosure. I've used it for now over a year and it's worked flawlessly for me. And I actually paired it with this drive right here. This is the Silicon Power. This is the UD90 you can see here. So this is a 1 terabyte drive, $67. The drive's a little tiny one that fits in that little tiny enclosure there, and it works great. So, I mean, that combination I know works because I have it right here. I mean, again, if you're going to be using this to like totally run everything off of, it might get a little hotter because it's in a small space. But overall, it's been really solid for me, and I have no complaints with it. So that's something I kind of recommend if you want just some extra storage. And a couple other ones. So if you want a little bit bigger, this one's actually got a fan. So this is not a Thunderbolt 4 either. This will just be some basic storage here. This one's by Enclosures. Now, Enclosures makes really good enclosures out there. And this one, let me just see here. It's got a fan on it. It takes just normal size M.2 drives, and you're going to get like that 900, around 900 megabytes per second, depending on the drive you put in here. So fast enough for most things. Here it is right here. It's on obviously Amazon, Enclosures. $35.99. I'll have links to all of this. 10 gigabit per second, obviously, is the connection speed. And it's got a 20% coupon, though, right now. So you get some money off this because of Black Friday or something around there. But Enclosures makes really good ones. This one does have a fan in it, which helps with the cooling. So I kind of recommend that. I've tested that one out, and it's worked really well. And then, obviously there's other ones in here. Enclosures has got one right here. This has got the fan in it. This is another Thunderbolt one that's going to basically be the same as this bigger one where you can get that 3,000 megabytes per second. This one has a fan in it, and it's really good. I'll have a link to this one as well. I've used this one quite a bit. So these are all different options there, and I hope it definitely does help you out. Well, there's a couple options for you, and I'm super excited about the brand new Mac Mini sitting over there and that monitor. I'm going to show you some more pictures of that monitor right here. It's incredible. I love this thing. Again, you're paying $599. You're not paying $1,600. There's going to be a difference between this and the Studio Display, but I just love the thing. I mean, for what it is, right? I'm also going to be reviewing a 5K new one coming out on the market in maybe a week or two. I'll have that one out. But I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of different monitor videos. I'm going to be getting, hopefully, the Mac Mini Pro if I can get my hands on it, some other things like that. So subscribe to the channel. I'm one person, all right, and I do all this myself. It's not like I said, it's not perfectly clean. People tell me I can do better with my video editing, but this is me. I'm real. I just talk the way I talk. I don't have really scripts. I'm just talking off the top of my head, so it's not always polished. So if you like that, definitely subscribe. I mean, I'm not all about like, hey, look at me. I'm rich. I have $2,000 desk or something. Look at my room. I got things everywhere, but I want to help you guys out. So at the end of the day, if you can subscribe and help the channel grow, I would appreciate that. And we'll talk to you in the next video. I hope this helps. Peace.